Toughening Up. So Handel had been naughty when he would try to get a crane to pick up some slate wagons from the ravine, so the then controller sent him to the quarry, and soon he was put to work. As anyone who had met the Handels expected, he did not work hard, and whenever he did work, he did not do it efficiently. He grumbled a lot and always complained about everything, like this shed is too small for me, or these wagons are too dirty, or everything's too dirty, as anyone can expect a Handel to act like. He complained a lot about the quarry itself, so when he learned that engines there didn't get washed too often, or even cleaned that often, like get his brass polished, you can expect that he didn't have the, what's the word, cleanest of language that night in the shed. I deserve better, he complained that night at the shed. I deserve a cleaning 24/7, and I deserve the utmost of respect. The other engines tried to reason with him, but everyone knows reasoning with Sir Handel is a lost cause. The more work that came, Sir Handel grew even grumpier and complained more often. Everyone thought it would never end. That was until an engine that looked strangely like Reneus with green paint came up to the quarry to help one day. Sir Handel was sent to help the engine around, teaching the basics of the quarry. He gave the engine a tour all around, and then when they came to the incline, Sir Handel said, "And this is the incline. This is where wagons, slate wagons preferably, go." "What do I look like, blind?" "Of course I know that's an incline," said the engine. Sir Handel was shocked. He had never seen anyone this weird before. "And what a boring place. Gray all around. Huh. And those trees, such an eyesore. They should tear them down." Hey, the trees aren't that bad. Like, sure, they don't fit into the atmosphere, but... "Says the ugly fatso over here," said the engine. Hey, I'm a saddle tank. I was built like... "And what ugly trucks. Huh, they should scrap those things." The trucks were offended beyond belief. "We rather have Sir Handel than you," said the trucks. "Oh, shut up, you little..." Sir Handel was shocked and soon got very angry. "You don't call the trucks that. And if you want to work here, you gotta be more kind. Now, go away." The engine did so. But every time he worked that day, he grumbled, he complained, and he said all this wasn't good enough for him. That night, Sir Handel vented to the others. "This engine just complains. When does he stop?" The engines were silent. But then they burst out laughing. "What's so funny about this? The engine literally cussed. This is a kid show. When does he do that?" Then Reneus said in his laughter, "And you think you're better?" Sir Handel was about to retort, but then he stopped. He was suspiciously quiet for the rest of the night. The other engines thought he was just embarrassed by how he vented and acted just tonight. They would soon see the Sir Handel that they knew that morning. But Sir Handel wasn't embarrassed at all. In fact, he was thinking, could he have been the worst engine before this engine came? In fact, is he even worse than this engine now? That morning, Reneus woke up and was ready to get coal from the coal loader. But then he saw Sir Handel at the loader first. "Oh no, this is gonna take forever." Then all of a sudden, Sir Handel sped forward. "You go ahead and go first, Reneus. I'm not that hungry this morning. In fact, I already have enough coal." Then he raced off. Reneus didn't say anything. In fact, he didn't talk for like the rest of the day. He didn't even know what to say. He's like, "Is this an alien or something?" That's the only thing he said that day. And that day, while Sir Handel worked at the quarry, he got everything done on time, and he even got some stuff done early so he could, and instead of taking that time to just rest and take a nap or something, he actually worked on other jobs to get them done earlier. That night, while the engines were at the shed, it was very quiet. until Aeneas broke the silence. Sir Handel has been different today, but we know whenever he does one of these things, he'll go back to normal. All the other engines agreed. But surprisingly to the other engines, Sir Handel didn't go back to his original way he was. In fact, he was like this for almost 5 years after this. But sadly, the main engine that was here to just be temporary stayed for longer than anticipated. One day, he was working, but then he had to go down into the mines to help some diggers get back up. He did not want to do that at all. In fact, right now he just wanted to rest. He said he had been working so hard, but he had actually just been working for 2 hours. 2 hours. And the workday is 24 hours. Indeed, this engine was lazy. He was pushing some trucks. But then, he saw the generator to the mines. This kept the lights on in the mines for all the diggers to dig. And then he had a very bad idea. I mean, not like it was a bad idea. It's just like it was like dangerous idea. There we go, dangerous idea. He shoved the truck so hard that they rammed through the shed that held the generator. The generator was destroyed. Ha ha ha! No work for me. But Sir Handel came out from a siding. He saw everything. What did you do? What? I derailed some trucks. No biggie. You know I can tell the thin controller, right? And he'll believe you, the little engine that took himself off the rails to get away from work. Sir Handel looked down on his buffers. Then he looked up again. Why did you derail those trucks? I destroyed the generator. So that way I don't have to go down into the mines. Because, wait, I have to bring them up. And now, well, that was a bad plan. Wait, hold on. Wait, you destroyed the generator? Yeah. What? That generator keeps the mines from flooding. If they flood, everyone is going to drown. The bad engine's smirk soon faded. I didn't know that this was gonna happen. I've been here for years, but I didn't know that. Of course you didn't know! The day that I showed you, you didn't listen to a single thing that I said. All those people are going to drown. Actually, no, they're not. Sir Handel raced away to the mines to save everyone. He didn't care that he was risking his own life. He cared about everyone else. He was no longer selfish. He was no longer the Sir Handel from 6 years ago. He knew he was selfish, and he knew what to do now. Sir Handel puffed through the mines looking for anyone he could. He whistled, he yelled for anyone, and thankfully, he got a lot of people. He got almost everyone. And thankfully, he brought a coach with him, so he was able to get everyone out. When he was outside of the mine, he looked around and counted how many men were there. Because thankfully, the small controller had a checklist of every working man at the quarry. He counted and counted and recounted again. But there was one man missing. Sir Handel couldn't see or hear him from where he was, so he had to go back down into the mines. Thankfully, he didn't need the coach this time since it was just one man. The less amount of weight really helped him to gain enough speed to go down the mine. Thankfully, at the bottom, they found him. He went on to Sir Handel's footplate, and they were about to go when they heard a sudden crash, and boom! One of the main pipes that held in the water broke, and then another, and then another. The mine was filling up so much. Every mine shaft was almost full to the brim of water. Sir Handel had to get out now, or they were all drowned. Sir Handel puffed as fast as he could through the mine shafts that were filled with water. The firemen shoveled for dear life. Soon they were in the main mine that led to the entrance. It was a spiral all the way up, so the handle had to puff as fast as he could because the water was coming. As he went up, the water started to sweep away all the track. The handle had to race against the clock to get to the top before the water came down to him, because if the water took away the tracks underneath him, he and his crew would drown. Sahandel could barely feel his wheels. His safety valve was going off the charts, and he felt the tracks behind him start to sag. He was racing, and he was puffing as fast as he could. He could finally see the entrance and everyone waiting for him. That is when he felt alive, but he couldn't bear to look if he was under the ocean or under the flooding of the mine. When he opened his eyes, he saw a crowd of people cheering. 3 cheers for Sahandel! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Well done, my boy, said his driver. Old Sahandel would have let this go to his head, but this wasn't Sahandel from back then. This Sahandel had toughened up. He had grown up and he had matured. This wasn't Sahandel. This was Sahandel the Brave. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, and this story is free to adapt to anyone who wants to adapt it. Please just give credit if you do. And also, for the people who have been on my channel, no, Smudget is not the exclusive RWS character, and no, this is not the big episode that I've been working on. That's for later. Bye.